Levioso. Accio. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Accio. Levioso. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Accio. Levioso. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Accio. Levioso. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Accio. Levioso. Confringo.
get on with those tasks?
Madam Kagawa, I completed the list of tasks you assigned.
Wonderful. I trust you became more familiar with your broom through the process?
Yes, Professor.
That's good to hear. Keep it up, and perhaps one day you'll have a spot on the Quidditch team. If Black ever permits Quidditch again. Well, with those tasks out of the way, let us get started. Glacius. Pay attention to your wand work. Well done. That you practice your new spell before taking it out into the world. There you go.
Accio. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Does it get any more cozy than Hogsmeade? Perhaps I'll come back to this.
Welcome, everyone. I see you've already met some of the many beasts we study in this class. Though be advised, none of these creatures should be taken lightly. They are all in their own way dangerous, especially if one does not know how to handle them properly. Now, it seems many of you are out of practice. Let's take some time to review the basics of how to care for a beast, shall we?
Мисс Добринг, пожалуйста, на этом уроке помогите новому ученику.
Yes, Professor Howen. Hello, I'm Poppy Sweeting. Don't worry about Professor Howen's speech. She over-exaggerates sometimes. All the beasts in class are perfectly safe. Oh!
Miss Sweeting, pay attention, please. The tongue of a puffskein can be a slippery devil.
Yes, Professor. Here, you can practice on Gerald. Just keep an eye out for his tongue. You can use my brush. Just be gentle. Oh, and think pleasant thoughts. I like to think it enriches his experience. That's lovely. I'm sure he feels much better. I think he might be hungry. Would you mind giving him some beast food? What do you suppose the pellets taste like to Gerald? Pudding, I like to think. I think we can safely say that Gerald likes you.
That's good news. He seems very nice.
He is. Kindness is one of his best qualities, right after ambition. And cleanliness.
Good work, everyone. Now, let's make our way to the pens and select another beast. And please, do be careful as you feed and groom them. Miss Sweeting, why don't you show our new student to the Kneazles in the farthest pen?
This way. The Kneazles are over here.
Oh, couple of Kneazle whiskers ought to get me a few canuts at least. Enough to buy something from Honeydukes. Stupid thing.
What in Merlin's name are you doing?
Tuss, peculiar Poppy. Worried about a worthless little rodent.
Her name is Persephone!
Her name is Persephone!
That's really not funny.
Let's go.
Those two don't belong anywhere near this class. Poachers in training. Persephone was onto them instantly. Thank you for your help. Let's carry on. Feed and brush the Kneazles just as you did with Gerald. The Kneazles really took to you. They know a good egg when they see one. As do I.
It appears our time has come to an end. Please close the pens and see yourselves out.
Так, а где наш...
I'm sure our beasts are safe here, but I do worry about them. especially after the troll attack.
Poppy helping you out? She's brilliant with beasts.
A happy.
Where are the lions? I would like to see a huge Gryffindor lion in this class for once.
Hello, Professor. You wanted to speak with me?
I did. How did you find your first beasts lesson?
It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class.
Good. You seem to understand that when beasts are properly controlled, they can play a vital role in our lives. Some provide us with magically imbued materials, if cared for correctly, which does not include torturing them for whiskers. Well done, by the way. Probably best to let me handle it next time.
Yes, Professor.
They're nearly as bad as the Savagers in Rookwood's poacher pack. Sadly, we're the ones who suffer, stumbling over dead beasts. Terrible waste of resources.
Surely the poachers can be brought to justice by someone. The Ministry, perhaps?
An optimistic idea. Now, why don't we focus on more immediate matters that we can control? Professor Weasley has asked that I prepare some assignments designed to help you catch up to the other fifth years. Be on the lookout for my owl. Meanwhile, I also encourage you to study.
I need to talk to you. Come here.
Do you need something, Poppy?
Спасибо тебе еще раз за то, что заступился за меня перед теми негодяями.
You were an augury at noon in the desert.
I certainly hope that's a good thing.
It's something my gran and I say. It means that something or someone is a welcome surprise. At least, that's what we decided it meant.
I couldn't stand there and watch them harm the poor thing.
We're of a similar mind. Actually, in light of that, there's someone I'd like you to meet in the forest.
You've intrigued me. Very well. Lead the way.
I'd hoped I would.
Я бы не позвала туда, кого попало. Вообще-то, ты первый.
Really? Well, thank you, I think.
As I said, we think alike. Pleasant surprise. Quite the weather we're having, don't you think?
Poppy, where are you taking me?
It really is much better if I just show you. Don't worry, we're nearly there. It's just ahead. Stand back. Please meet Highwing. Isn't she just magnificent? Go on, introduce yourself to her. But be careful. You must always show hippogriffs the proper courtesy before you approach them. I knew it! I don't think I've ever seen a hippogriff take to someone this quickly. You can feed and brush her if you'd like. I come and check on her every once in a while. Bring her pasties, tell her what's going on in the castle. You wouldn't know from looking at her, but she's a dreadful busybody. So, what did you think of Highwing?
I thought she was brilliant.
I suspected you two might get along.
Are you the reason?
I've seen it firsthand with her.
How exactly did you and Highwing cross?
It's a longer story, but I rescued her from poachers a few years back. Got her to see. You may have noticed that poachers are something of a problem in the area.
That does seem strange. Sounds as if they're...
I think I'm going to look into it. Find out what's...
I think that's a fine idea. Information is power.
And the more...
You seem under...
Oh, very well. I should be going, but...
Incendio!
Off on another adventure, are we?
Какая приятная встреча, мой юный друг.
This cannot possibly be as difficult as it seems.
Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade.
Thank you again for delivering those potions to Madame Lawing. Saved me a lot of time and trouble. I hope to see you again. Farewell for now.
Glacius! Expelliarmus! Incendio! Confringo! Levioso!
A boom!
Confringo! Expelliarmus! Incendio! Glacius! Hogsmeade, here I come. Glacius! Accio!
Hello. And how would one like to be styled today?
Hello.
Oh, come in. Come in. Welcome to Madame Snelling's Tress Emporium. I'm sure I've no need to introduce myself. They used to call me Snelly. Oh, Snelly, why aren't you studying to be an aura? But I showed them. They're stuck in the dust at the ministry and I'm here. But looking for a change, are we?
Why not, I say? What sort of change?
Some are going for that.
What services do you offer?
What is it you might be interested in? You take care now, and I shall hope to see you soon.
Accio. Accio. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Sometimes it seems all roads lead to Hogsmeade. Accio. Accio. Hello again, Mr. Moon.
Oh, I was hoping to see you again, my young friend. Glad we... Oh... Now, if you wouldn't mind humouring me for a moment, see if you can remove the moon from the statue. Oh, odd little contraptions, aren't they? It seems the statue vanishes once the moon is removed, which, incidentally, can only be done at night. Why don't you hold on to that one for now, and I'll explain more as we walk. Ever since that fateful day in the village, those curious statues have begun appearing about the castle. A fair number have been strewn around Hogsmeade. Someone, it seems, is trying to torment me. You see, that day in Hogsmeade, I turned a corner and came face to face with a boggart, or shapeshifter, if you will, which takes the form of whatever scares you most. This one took the form of a demiguise.
A demiguise?
Yes! Terrifying creature that can see the future. Wholly unnerving. I encountered one when I was a lad in Korea. Terrible experience. Those statues are demiguises. The moons, I assume, are an uninspired play on my name. Some jackanapes used a boggart to learn my greatest fear and use it against me. I have my suspicion as to the scoundrel or scoundrels responsible. It is my hope that they will slip up and reveal themselves as the statues disappear. That is why I need your help in removing the statues.
Why me?
A couple of reasons, frankly. You... In fact,
I'd be glad to help you, Mr. Moon.
Oh, I knew I could count on you. First, next, you'll notice that the door is locked. However will you get in?
But what about curfew?
And I took advantage of it. Now...
Aloha, Mora. Well done! You're in! Remember, use a disillusionment charm so no one claps eyes on you. This is a restricted area of the castle.
Rather poorly, I'd say.
Is that so?
We're raising a generation of coddled cape flappers that can scarcely tell the difference between aconite and asphodel.
Yes, well, it's still early.
You say that every year, Matilda.